Hey, this is Rachel Mazza coming to you from Jardim de Estrela, which means Park of the Stars here in Lisboa, Portugal. It is one of my favorite parks in the world, and I just walked up here after a great client call, but this time the call wasn't with the client, it was with the team of one of my new clients, someone that I just started with. And I wanted to share what happened because it reminded me of an important lesson about finding clarity and using all of the tools at your disposal when approaching a new project. So this new client, we just got started this week, and they've hired me to come in as an expert and advise them on the best course of action to take to relaunch one of their old products to their current list. And so I came in and I was having the hardest time getting started. And I don't exactly know what it was, but I knew in my gut that I didn't have all the information that I needed in order to advise this client appropriately, but I didn't quite know what the information was. And so I was kind of floundering around, like trying to figure out how to get started. And while I'm an expert in copy and sales, every time we come in, we have to assess the situation, right? And figure out what's going on before we can figure out the best way forward. And it was actually on a call with my friend Abby Woodcock. She reminded me that it's so important to speak to the entire team when you're coming in and advising a client, not just the client themselves. And so that's what I did. I went in and I spoke to the team, separate from the client. These are people that have been immersed in the business for 1, 2, 3, 5 years, but they're also separate from the business, which isn't always the case when your client is also the guru of the business, right? Like, we know this as entrepreneurs ourselves, is that sometimes you're just so in it as the owner of the business that you lose perspective, or maybe you just don't have the full picture as when you're working in there and talking to your customers day to day. And so this team was able to give me some insights, and I asked them how they would approach the copy as well. And just listening to them, so even though they weren't copywriting experts, they had so many great ideas and perspective from how things were done in the past and how those campaigns performed in the past, that it really gave me the clarity I needed to create a plan that I knew was going to work well for this client, and gave me the confidence that I now had all the information in order to move forward in a way that I knew was going to serve my client best. And so if you are a freelancer or a copywriter, I want to remind you to leverage all of the tools at your disposal. And sometimes that means getting together with and listening to people who are not copywriters on the team so that you can get the big picture and know what you're up against, know what you're working with, and have all the resources that you need to be able to do your best work for that client. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it gave you a little bit more clarity. If you are feeling a little bit stuck on a project, remember to leverage those resources at your disposal. And sometimes that means going and talking to the team and not just your client, or not just doing independent research on your own. And if you're still feeling stuck, then let's jump on a call. You can go to my website at rachelmazza.com/workwithme and book in a call. You can rent some space in my brain and we can work through it together. But until then, thanks for checking in, and I will talk to you soon.